participants' topic is as follows. Your great-grandchildren will not remember your resume. They will remember what your generation chose to build. What is one thing you most want them to know that your generation chose to do, and what must begin happening now for them to be able to know it? Tus bisnietos no recordarán tu currículum, recordarán lo que tu generación eligió construir. ¿Qué es lo único que más deseas que ellos puedan decir acerca de lo que tu generación eligió hacer? ¿Y qué debe empezar a suceder ahora para que lo puedan decir? Finalists, please proceed to follow extemporaneous speaking Durham Director Ryan Garcia and exit the auditorium to the chart. Which category should we do next? I heard a lot of process, so let's go with cross-examination. In cross-examination, two teams consisting of a leader and a member affirm or oppose a resolution and debate about it. I will now announce our semi-finalists for cross-examination. Again, if your name is called, please stand up at your seat to be recognized. Our semi-finalists from San Antonio, Jacob Guerra and Ashley. From RTP, Juliana Aguero and Devin Rivera. From San Antonio, Ray Lara and Julio Zelaya. And from San Antonio, Felix Campbell and Alan Villarreal. I will now announce the finalists. I have almost the first finalist. From San Antonio, Jacob Guerra. From San Antonio, Ray Lara and Julio Zelaya. I will now invite our Assistant Director of Judging, Hannah Baker Pass, to begin the round.
The resolution is as follows. Resolve that NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in producing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of their readiness to lead. Again, the resolution is as follows. Resolve that NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in producing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of their readiness to lead. Our Assistant Tournament Director, Ana Carlota Lopez, will serve as our timekeeper.
The time signals are as follows. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5-second grace period.
Now, we will begin our round with the leader of the affirmative opening statement. You will have a coin flip to decide the leader in affirmative. We will have heads and tails. Heads. Heads or tails? Tails it is. Affirmative or opposition? Affirmative lead. Please state your first and last name. Can you spell it out, please?
Riley, last name Lara.
Now, affirmative member, can you please state your name and spell it? Now, lead of the opposition, can you please state your name and spell it?
Jacob, last name Guerra.
And member of the opposition, please state your name and spell it.
Ashley Signalik, Ashley Siennaley.
All right. Now, we will begin the round with the leader of the affirmative opening statement. You will have 3 minutes to present. Time starts when you do.
Good afternoon. My name is Riley Lotto, and my partner's name is Julio Zelaya. We are on the affirmative side of the resolve, which states that NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in producing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of the readiness to lead. Our value is to give time and resources to the youth so they can create new contrasting perspectives. Our value criterion is allowing the youth to listen so that they can build new initiatives based on their needs and interests as a demonstration of the readiness to lead. Our first contention is that there is a lack of opportunities that spark innovation within the community. Studies from the Institute of Educational Science show that 83% of schools offer academically focused programs, but these programs still aren't sparking new youth participation, causing only 13% of students actually participating in new programs. This means that students may want to join organizations, but are not provided with the organizations in their status quo. This creates harm within the Latino community because they are not interested with the programs in their current status quo. This will cause leaders to become underrepresented and not have the right needs to become leaders. In order to mitigate this harm, we need a new initiative where students can learn and share their ideas with others. And a new initiative would provide enough resources to help the youth. Current initiatives like NHI focus more on political topics. However, a new initiative can provide topics such as medicine, math, or science that shows a new initiative can help the youth with their interests. Judge, would you settle for the narrow status quo or expand the Latino community to major opportunities? Our second contention is providing organizations with opportunities. Fundamental 24 creates the opportunity that you must be the leader who envisions opportunities and encourages others to get involved. Use the resources and connections around you to benefit them, creating the opportunity for everyone. Creating a safe space for people to speak out on what they believe and to speak out on what they think to say. Our third contention is that youth have valuable ideas to contribute, but NHI doesn't provide them with the space granted. In third reality, and Netanyahu states that new leadership was needed from our nation's youth. A leadership that didn't turn its back on the poor and disenfranchised people, whose circumstances forced them to operate outside of their periphery of America's nation. He describes how we need a new initiative so the youth can lead the nation using their ideas from a new initiative. This leader can be built by having a new initiative that provides time and resources. Judge, if you do not sign with the affirmative side of the resolve that states any child members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in providing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of their readiness to lead, any such student members will not have the right opportunities to lead. Thank you.
Thank you. As a reminder, participants, please turn on your mics and hold them close so that we can hear you. Thank you. Now, we will have the member of the opposition cross-examination of the leader of the affirmative. You will have 2 minutes to present. Time starts when you do. Do you believe that NHI has produced representation?
I believe NHI can produce more representation.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that NHI has prepared our youth to be ready to lead?
NHI has prepared any youth enough.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that NHI is a major organization that helps the youth?
I believe NHI hasn't helped the youth enough.
Okay, thank you. Does NHI provide the resources needed to become a leader?
I believe NHI did not provide enough resources for
Okay,
the
thank
youth.
you. Are you aware that NHI also teaches leadership skills, not only politics?
I believe NHI hasn't been teaching enough leadership.
Okay, thank you. But if you're admitting that it's teaching leadership skills, then how is it not making them enough leaders?
I believe NHI has not produced enough leaders to represent the Latino community.
Okay, thank you. But do you think that this has been grown?
NHI has not produced enough growth for the
Okay,
Latino
thank
community.
you. But if you're suggesting a new initiative, wouldn't that take longer than just continuing our growth?
A new initiative will bring time and treasure to this community.
Okay, thank you. But isn't the result investing instead of bringing?
A new initiative can invest in time and the Latino community.
Okay, thank you. Are you aware that 70% of organizational change efforts fail?
I'm aware which we could be the 30% that
Do
succeed.
you think that this means that we could fail?
I believe that we could be the 30% that succeed in new
Okay, thank you.
initiatives.
But are you willing to take that risk?
If that's what it was, so we are too.
Okay, thank you. But do you believe that he took that risk for us so we didn't have to?
I believe he took that risk to example how
Okay, thank you. But do you think NHI has helped the Latino community as a whole?
NHI can do it more.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that NHI is a useful opportunity for our youth?
NHI hasn't done enough to help the
Okay, thank you.
community.
Why hasn't it done enough if all of us are here right now learning?
NHI hasn't reached out to more of the
Okay, thank you.
community.
Do you believe that NHI has helped you become a better leader?
NHI can help me even more.
Okay, thank you. So are you admitting that NHI has made a lot of leaders and made them better?
I believe NHI has made enough leaders.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that NHI is inclusive?
I think NHI could be even more inclusive
Okay,
than
thank
it
you.
is.
How is it not inclusive if everyone can join?
NHI hasn't reached out to more than
Okay,
enough
thank you. But
people.
can we just grow NHI?
NHI hasn't.
We will now have the leader of the opposition prep time. You will have 2 minutes of prep. One minute. Thirty seconds. Fifteen seconds. 5, 4, 3,
5 second grace period.
We will now have the Leader of the Opposition opening statement. You have 3 minutes to present. Time starts when you do.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Jacob Guerra, and this is my partner, Ashley Noller. We are on the opposition side of the resolve, which states that NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure into producing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of their readiness to lead. The affirmative value was to give time to the youth, and the value criterion was to allow the youth to listen. Now, I believe that these are both things that NHI already provides. Give time to the youth. What we're doing right now, having a debate, is giving time to the youth to allow us to grow as leaders. So if we're already doing that, why would we need a new initiative that could fail? There's no need. The value criterion was to allow the youth to listen. After the great debate, we are allowed to return, and we are allowed to make more leaders. So we're allowing the youth to listen to what we have to say, because we, all of us, have gone through this. So we are giving time and allowing the youth to listen. Their first contention was that we have a lack of opportunities. I say we don't. Fundamental 21 states we should lead by serving and inspiring others. As I stated previously, we are giving many opportunities for people to come and compete. We have regions from Mexico with us right now. How is that a lack of opportunity? We have the recipe to success, and we need to stick with that. If we stick with that, we can lead by serving and inspiring more people. And the more people we inspire, the more regions we can access. We do not need a new initiative for this. Their second contention was that we need to provide organizations that are inclusive. How is NHI not inclusive? As I stated earlier, we have areas that are in Mexico. We are still growing. NHI is still growing. We are inclusive, and we will continue to be inclusive. Their third and final contention was that NHI is not enough to share our voices. Look what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm sharing my ideas to all of you. How is NHI not allowing us to share our voices? In third reality, Ernesto Nieto stated that the Latino community does not need another advocacy and reform organization to help address its needs and challenges. The creator of NHI, one of the most successful Latinos, said we do not need another advocacy group to address our needs and challenges. And this is because NHI is the recipe for success, and we will continue to be the recipe for success. And if we change that for a new initiative that is higher likely to fail, you will be stripping us of our roots. So, Judge, I plead with you, side with the opposition side of the resolve. Because if you want the Latino community to continue to be successful, stick with NHI. Thank you.
We will now have the member of the affirmative cross-examination of the Leader of the Opposition. You will have 2 minutes of cross-examination. Time starts when you do.
Are you aware of what Fundamental 24 states?
Of course I'm aware of Fundamental 24.
Okay, if Fundamental 24 says create the opportunity, why should we not go out and create the opportunity for a new initiative?
I believe that we can create the opportunity.
Okay, are you aware that Ernesto Nieto said that we need to change the way we think?
I am also aware of the fact that he said that
Okay, thank you. Can NHI do more for the community?
I believe NHI continues to do more for
Okay,
me.
thank you. Can NHI do more for you?
I think NHI is doing more for me. Allow me to
Thank
be
you. Are
here.
you aware that over NHI's 47 years of being around, we have only had 100,000 alumni compared to 68 million Latinos in this country?
You're failing to recognize the growth the Latino community has had in
Okay,
so
thank
many
you. Do you
times.
believe NHI listens to you?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you believe NHI listens to you?
I believe NHI listens to me. They're listening to me right now.
Okay, thank you. But how do you feel heard through NHI?
I believe NHI hears me.
Do you believe NHI is doing enough for everybody in this room?
I believe NHI is.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe NHI has flaws?
I believe NHI NHI continuously wants to fix
Okay,
these
thank you.
flaws.
You think NHI has fixed all these flaws?
As I stated, NHI is
Okay, thank you. Are you aware that there's 68 million Latinos across this country?
I'm also aware that we've continued to grow
Okay, thank you. Are you
institutions.
aware that there's only 1,257 NHI student members across all grade levels?
And as I said, we will continue to grow.
Okay, thank you. Are you aware that that number is extremely low compared to the numbers of Latinos in this country?
That's a very deficit-based mindset to use.
Okay, thank you. But doesn't this disprove that NHI is doing enough to represent us?
This does not disprove it because NHI can continue to
Okay,
grow.
thank you. But do you agree that that number is exponentially low for the number of Latinos?
I can agree with the fact that we are continually growing, and Judge, you must side with us.
The member of the affirmative will now have a rebuttal prep time. You have 2 minutes. One minute. Thirty seconds. $15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5-second grace period.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Lucas Lai, and I stand on the affirmative side of the resolve that states NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in providing a youth initiative as a demonstration of readiness to lead. In my cross-examination of the opposite side, they said that NHI is giving time to the youth, but won't a new youth initiative give more than just time? It can take their talents and spark innovation within the community. It can help reach more people's interests, so we can have a bigger room of people here. A new initiative will reach more of the community, which will further support what we said in our opening statement. It can spark innovation. It can get the youth interested. It can get them excited about a new initiative. In our opening statement, we stated how 83% of schools have academically focused programs, but only 13% join because these programs simply don't interest the youth. NHI, they stated in my cross-examination that NHI works to fix its flaws. NHI, saying that, they just admitted that NHI has flaws. By stating that they're siding with the side that NHI has flaws, so why not create a new youth initiative to help fix those flaws? They said they were familiar with Fundamental 24, which states create the opportunity. If NHI fundamentals say create the opportunity, us and NHI student members should take that into consideration and create the opportunity to go out and make a new initiative. An initiative that can further support the whole community and help everyone, which will strengthen the community, strengthen our bonds, and help us treasure and protect our Latino culture. They also stated that our third contention was about time, but our third contention is simply not about time. Our third contention is saying that the youth has valuable ideas that a new initiative can further listen to, because they stated he does feel heard by NHI, but if he feels heard by NHI, why aren't NHI's flaws fixed yet? If he was truly heard by the program, the flaws would have been fixed by now. Judge, if you do not side with the affirmative side that NHI student members should invest their time, talent, and treasure in providing a new initiative, expand their knowledge, and not be able.
The member of the opposition will now have 1 minute prep time for the rebuttal.
30 seconds. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 seconds cleared. Time.
Now, the member of the opposition will present the rebuttal and closing. You have 3 minutes to present. Time starts when you do.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Ashley Siegnaller, and I'm on the opposition side of the resolve, which states that NHI student members do not need to invest their time, talent, and treasure into producing a new youth initiative as a demonstration of their readiness to lead. The purpose value was that we need to work on empowering our youth, and then we need to work for them. In the firm's answers, they stated that NHI has produced representation, and that it has made us leaders. They also used evidence in their first contention that is completely irrelevant, because NHI is not school, so why would people joining academic-based programs support the fact that we need to change from NHI? NHI is working, and it's teaching us to become leaders in our community. They said that NHI has made them better leaders, so if it is making them better leaders and showing that they are ready to lead, why would we make a whole new initiative? They said it teaches them leadership skills and not only politics, which means that they agree to our side, that NHI has shown us that we are ready to lead, and we do not need a new initiative. They said that NHI is a major organization, and that the youth are made able to listen. They are heard, and they are also get to speak their mind. This means that NHI is supporting them through whatever they need. They also said that NHI is inclusive, which disproves what they are arguing for. Because if they're arguing that we need more inclusivity, why would they agree that NHI is inclusive? If NHI is inclusive, we do not need to change. They also said that we can give our time and resources into making a new initiative. But that isn't the thing. The result. Our goal is to show that there's a need for a new initiative, which they failed to do, because there's not a need. That means their argument does not stand, because they couldn't even support their side of the argument. On the opposition side, we stated that we support Fundamental 24, create the opportunity. NHI has created the opportunity, so we do not need a new initiative. NHI has prepared our youth and showed us that we can become leaders with no new initiative and no new things. NHI allows us to share our voices and share our beliefs, and it teaches us to become leaders, such as this debate right now. People from all across Texas, and even in Mexico, are here right now. And they stated that 100,000 is not a lot, but I would say that is a very large amount. 100,000 is a significant amount of growth for the Latino community. And we need to continue this and continue our success instead of stripping ourselves of our resources by making a new initiative. They agreed that a new initiative is likely to fail. As stated, 70% of new organizational change efforts fail. And they agree that it's possible. So why would we change when we are succeeding with our status quo? They even said that NHI has made leaders. So why would we change if it is working? They also said that NHI does not listen. But as my leader stated, NHI does listen to us, and it does hear us. And for our best vision of the future, we need to be investing our time, talent, and treasure into something that supports us, and that has enabled us to become the leaders that we need. And that is NHI. We do not need to change what is currently working. We say that NHI empowers itself, and it grows throughout time, and we do not need change. So judges, you must side with the opposition side of the result, because if not, NHI will not be able to make leaders, and the Latino community will not have the representation it needs.
We will now have the member of the affirmatives rejoinder. You have 1 minute to present. Time starts when you do.
Judges, in my cross-examination of the opposition side, they stated that they are aware that this country has 68 million Latinos in the country. And they also said that they agree that the number of NHI student members is very low compared to the population size. This simply proves that we need a new initiative. We need something that can further represent us. They also state that we cannot prove that youth initiatives do not exist, but we did, because in our quote that they got wrong in our opening statement that stated, all academic focused in initiatives, including ones offered at schools, which 83% of schools have these, but only 13% join because they do not feel innovative and do not feel interested in the topics given. We never agreed to saying that NHI We never agreed to saying that initiatives could fail. We said, why can't we be a part of the 30% that don't fail? Judge, if you don't side with the affirmative side, NHI student members will not be able to expand their knowledge and use the youth initiatives, and their ideas will not be heard.
We will now have a 5-minute judges evaluation.
Are Evalina Estrada, Carlos Marroquín, Sonsunir Sabonor, and Bernardo Pérez. Please come to the stage. And from Casa Magnolia, drum roll please. Dina Solman. Congratulations to our team finalists. will begin with the prom. You will have it in the senior drawing room, but I will be one. Finalists, your prompt is: the local city council has agreed to repurpose an old shopping mall into a community center. Your high school committee has been given one wing of the building to design a program for Latino youth. So, this is a combination of the topic and challenge rounds. Your topic question is: as a team, how do you design a space that brings in young people who have never seen themselves as part of something larger than themselves? Now, in the reality, Ernesto Nieto traces how his parents, Santos and Esther, built lasting community trust at Desabala Park and Hennessy Park, not because they were assigned there, but because they were from there. Their credibility came from shared history and not credentials. Community is earned, it's not appointed. A well-known Latino architect who graduated from your high school 10 years ago approached your community. He wants to help design the community center wing. He's talented and willing to give back. He has also been gone for a decade and does not know the students or families your space is meant to serve. Some of your team is ready to just hand him the project, but others are not so sure. As a team, how do you decide whether to bring him in, and if you do, on what terms? Finalists, please proceed to follow your Athenaeum director, well, she's actually judging, but your JFLs Isabela Gonzalez and Victoria Katzeli, and exit the auditorium to the Athenaeum preparation room. We will now bring back our finalists from Extemporaneous Speaking. Actually, they are still in the program. So, which category should we do next?
Oratory.
Which category should we do next? Oratory. In the category of oratory, orators must identify one specific belief, practice, motto, or tradition in the Latino community that must be released in order for something new to take its place. Argue for what that new thing is, why it belongs to the future, and why your community has everything it needs to actually build it. Now, we will announce our semi-finalists for oratory. Again, if your name is called, please stand up to be recognized in your seat. Our semi-finalists from San Antonio, Bailey Bernal. From Houston, Pamela Delgado. From El Paso, Vito Muñoz. And from Saltillo, representing Mexico. I will now announce the finalists. Drum roll, please. Your first finalist. Drum roll, everyone. I will now invite our tournament director to begin the round.
I will now give the order of proceedings. We will start with our coin flip. Heads and tails. It is heads. Would you like speaker 1 or speaker 2? Thank you. Speaker 1, can you please turn on your mic and say your first and last name, then spell it out? And you can take the microphone out of the street.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My first name is Pamela Delgado and it's spelled P A M E L A.
Thank you. Now, speaker 1, can you please state your first and last name and spell it? I'm so sorry. Speaker 2.
My first name is Carlos. It is spelled C-A-R-L-O-S. Last name Ortiz. O-R-T-I-Z.
Thank you. Now, we will show you time signals.
The time signals are as follows: 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 seconds.
We will start off with the judge preparation and submission of speeches. That will be 1 minute. We will start with speaker 1. You have 4 to 5 minutes to present. Time starts when you're ready.
En una fiesta latina es muy común encontrarse con adultos bebiendo. ¿Sabe lo peligroso que puede ser esto? Hace años, cuando cumplí 8, tuve una experiencia similar y resultó en un desastre. En el patio del frente se podía ver a los niños jugando, pero también se veía a los hombres malgastados. Los hombres estaban distraídos, pero un niño corrió hacia la calle y resultó herido en un accidente. Lo que ocurrió ese día me hizo comprender lo peligroso que puede ser cuando los adultos pierden la capacidad de cuidar a los niños adecuadamente debido al alcohol. Buenos días, juez. Mi nombre es Pamela Delgado. Y esa tradición nos está dañando. Y es por eso que los adultos deberían de dejar de tomar y deberíamos de reemplazarlo con otras actividades, como jugar juegos de mesa, cocinar juntos o cantar karaoke, gritando, ¡paren a los borrachos! The Latino community continues the tradition of drinking at celebrations, a practice that historically served as a cultural tonic for fighting fatigue, boosting spirits, and fostering camaraderie. Today, however, this practice frequently leads to modern problems like poor decision-making, heated arguments, and neglected parental responsibilities, which ultimately normalizes alcoholism for future generations. In his book, Third Reality, Ernesto uses the metaphor of letting the ship sink to show that while traditions are a beautiful part of our culture, we must actively courage to create healthier traditions. I realized the weight of this during my childhood Christmas, when an alcohol-fueled argument broke out among the adults, fracturing our family dynamics and causing us to distance ourselves. That moment proved that when alcohol takes over, adults lose sight of other immediate actions deeply damage the future of their families. I understand that my family is not the only one that goes through this, but there are other Latino families that may have similar experiences like this one. Although this can all be avoided through the Paren a los Borrachos movement, where people can help each other by creating alcohol-free spaces, making fun activities, and allowing people to talk about their own experiences with alcohol and make new friends who support each other when needed, encouraging them to create healthier traditions that don't depend on drinking. It shifts the community by self-determination because it chooses healthier ways to celebrate and support our culture without the difficulties of alcohol. This vision opens doors for young Latino leaders by helping them in creating and maintaining safe spaces where everyone feels included without feeling pressured to drink. By 2051, future generations could grow in communities with healthier celebrations, stronger family relationships, and better mental health, creating a lasting impact in their daily lives. The Latino community already has strong family connections, community centers, churches, and people who are willing to support each other, which could help keep this movement going. After seeing how negatively one can be affected by drinking alcohol, Paren a los Borrachos is needed for the community. Family relationship and children's mental health can be hurt when getting drunk at parties becomes normal. Just like that one Christmas, that can show how alcohol can ruin special family moments and create problems that last for years. By encouraging healthier and alcohol-free celebrations, this movement can help communities become more positive and create stronger family relationships. Judge, this issue matters because the traditions that we continue today will negatively affect the future generations. If we start implementing movements like Paren a los Borrachos, future generations could grow in communities where celebrations are about making memories with family instead of alcohol. The change needs to start with us, and the best time to start is now. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. We will now move to Speaker 2. Speaker 2, you will have 4 to 5 minutes to present. Time starts when you.
In Mexican culture, our elders have taught us from a young age to carry out orders without question, exercising authoritarian leadership, not allowing opinions or the contribution of ideas. This has been repeated for generations in homes and workplaces to this day. What would happen if we changed this way of thinking, living, and acting? But most importantly, how can we achieve this? Hello, good morning. My name is Carlos Emiliano Ortiz Flores. I am Mexican, and I represent the city of Saltillo of the state of Coahuila. Today, I am here to express how young people are excluded because it is considered that we lack the necessary capacity to participate in decision-making with social, professional, or economic impact. Our voices are not heard, and our knowledge and skills are not taken into account. This goes against one of NHI's core principles: listen generously. Technology advances rapidly, and we young people have the ability to acquire knowledge easily and simply. Knowledge that adults often don't understand or don't know how to use. On one hand, it is the adults that have been prepared to be today's leaders. But on the other hand, we need them to listen to our ideas. ¿Cómo podemos hacer esto? Debemos aprender a escuchar, no solo a oír. hacer lluvia de ideas, ser tolerantes y no prejuzgar las ideas de los demás. Estas son algunas acciones que si ponemos en práctica nos pueden ayudar a romper paradigmas, fomentar la innovación, inspirar confianza y mejorar la comunicación y el compromiso. At school, we can start by doing activities where everyone shares their ideas and experiences to solve a problem. And at home, without taking authority from our parents, we can start by giving them suggestions. And as for them, they should be open to hear them. This can be applied to things as simple as deciding what's for breakfast, to other more complex things, like the decisions that influence activities at home. By doing these exercises, we can become adults that are more secure of themselves, with a way of thinking that's more free and propositional, fostering our leadership to help us become better adults that take better decisions. But now you might be asking yourselves, why is this what we need to build a better future? As I mentioned before, the fusion of the experiences of our elders and the knowledge we young people acquire results in constant innovation. They will learn to adapt their ideas to new technologies, to face current challenges, objectives, and goals. Consequently, this effective way of communication between adults and young people will bring positive change with a strategic vision to help us build a better future in our communities and in the world. In this way, young leaders will be able to share their ideas to new generations to motivate them. As NHI states in another of its core principles, lead by serving and inspiring others. This way of thinking, of generating ideas, listening, and not judging, will form the young leaders of the future. It's time to act. The future doesn't build itself, but it's all of us who build it with our daily actions. Let us not forget our origin, but let's strive to be better every day. Leaders are not born. Leaders are made with experience and wisdom. And now, I encourage all the young people present to work together with the older generations every day to slowly create a world where no one is silenced, everyone's voice is heard, and we all contribute to the decisions that help us move forward as a community that transcends for many years to come. Thank you.
We will now read your question. We will read it 2 times in Spanish and English. What part of what you are building do you suspect will one day be the old ship that a future generation must learn to let it sink? Again, what part of what you are building do you suspect will one day be the old ship that a future generation must learn to let sink?
¿Qué parte de lo que estás construyendo sospechas que algún día será el viejo barco que una generación futura tendrá que aprender a dejar que se hunda? ¿Qué parte de lo que estás construyendo sospechas que algún día será el viejo barco que una generación futura tendrá que aprender a dejar que se hunda?
You will have 1 minute of preparation.
30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Speaker 1, you will now have 2 minutes to answer the question. The time starts when you do.
The part of what I'm building that I suspect will be the old ship we will need to then sink is that people need to go to movements or therapy to stop intoxicating themselves. And I'm gonna explain right now. I think we should let it sink because we shouldn't need the need to stop should search from the top of our hearts. We shouldn't be forced to do it. I say this because even though in the past drinking and intoxicating ourselves was seen as something good because it had many functions like get rid of fatigue or lose the shyness of celebrations. But today it only causes trauma, and if we can't see the harm we are doing to children, teenagers, and adults like the rest of our community, then we need to change something in between us. This is the reality that everyone is not trying to face. That children and everybody out there is suffering because adults can't seem to stop intoxicating themselves at parties, leaving children uncared for hours, ignoring their basic human needs. But in the future, if we do implement my movement, we can change this, and we can finally let go of the help that we need to let go of this. What I mean by this is that we can do it ourselves.
New generations will have to sink. Well, I first want to say that as time goes on, people will change. And as those people change, their knowledge and ideas will also change. This means that probably the actions we will have to take right now to become these new young leaders will be the part that we will have to let go. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think that the decisions a young person had to take 100 years ago are the same that someone now has to take. So as time progresses, these actions that we follow right now to become new leaders will change depending on the circumstances. This is how we will slowly but surely become new leaders that will forge the next generations, and they will obviously have new actions to fulfill their new decisions. Thank you very much.
Around participants. welcome back our finalists from extemporaneous speaking. From San Antonio, Brooklyn Tapia. And from San Antonio, Alaya Valenzuela. I now invite our Assistant DOJ, Hannah Baker, to continue with the round.
We will start our round with a coin flip. Heads and tails. Tails. Would you like speaker 1 or speaker 2? Thank you. Now, if I could have speaker 1, please turn on your microphone. Now, please state your first and last name and spell it for the judges.
Aliyah Valenzuela, Aliyah, and Valenzuela, Valenzuela.
Thank you. Could I please have speaker 2? Please state your first and last name and spell it, please.
Brooklyn Tapia, Brooklyn, Tapia, Tapia.
Thank you. Now, we will show you the time signal for the round.
The time signals are as follows: 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 second grace period.
We will now begin our round with the judge preparation of 1 minute. Now, we will begin with speaker 1's presentation. We will have 4 to 5 minutes to present. Time starts.
Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Aliyah Valenzuela, and today we were told that our generation's grandchildren will not remember our resume. They will remember our generation, what we chose to do, and what is one thing that we want them to know about our generation, and what we chose to do with that, and what needs to begin happening. Now, I want to start by saying that this generation is strong. In this present time, we have seen and we have witnessed many challenges. One of which that is very important to me is stereotypes. Why am I highlighting this specific challenge? My grandma was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, and moved to the US in 2nd grade. She was an immigrant. While she was in 2nd grade, she constantly got stereotyped about the way she looked, she spoke, and what she wore. This caused her to have to drop out of school because she couldn't handle all that. Me seeing her get this lack of education really sparked something in me, and it really created a significant impact in my family. My mom is now a nonprofit lawyer. She helps immigrants and values investing time into our community. Another thing that I want to highlight about our community is that we're very impatient. A quote from Claudia Flores states, "We must be impatient for changes," and I do not think that this is true. One thing that our future generation should know is that it's okay to be patient. You will not always see change right away. Not in a month, a year, and probably not even in your lifetime. If it's a real change, you won't see it as well. To me, While being patient, it is so important to use Fundamental 9. Proceed only on faith. In the 2026 community panel here at St. Mary's, we had 3 excellent judges. One of which, Patricia Medina, which said that she accomplished her goals and all her accomplishments with that power from her inheritance and proceeding on faith. Throughout my life and ever since then, this has stuck with me. But what are some examples of being patient? I know for me, using Fundamental 1, acting with integrity. When I volunteer at food banks and my mom's work, when she's done helping people with their cases, we will provide them with food. I want to tell you that growth is what really matters. How is this patience? I know that people will still be struggling, but me just helping a little amount of people, I know that there is growth. When asking, what must begin happening? I think it is so important that we need to use our realities. And Fundamental 12, reflect, adapt, and execute. How will I use this? That first reality, me getting that legacy and the stories from my grandma. My mom's job. Implementing it to my second reality. This influenced it. My institutional reality. At school, I got the experience from Young Women's Leadership Academy to walk in a protest against ICE. They gave me this opportunity and I took it right away. I made sure that during this protest, I was always proceeding in faith. I was cherishing my Latino community and everybody around me was as well. Now, this influenced my third reality. I might not have a clear idea of a vision I want to complete, but I know that I want to leave a positive impact through all of these realities. I think that this new generation should take into consideration their power from their inheritance and how much it really means. I think that using patience and time can help you create a stronger vision. You really implementing that, reflecting, adapting, and executing can really get you places. So, I also want to take into consideration that during this, that we should use an ask-based mindset. Just like Ernesto Nichols' dad did in the junkyard story. In the story, his dad and him saw this junk. Ernesto Nichols didn't see anything out of it, but his dad saw the opportunity and demonstrated what he did with it. This was very significant. You could see that Ernesto Nieto took that with him and continues to influence people all around the world. Now, judge, I urge you to listen when I say that I want you, my opponent, and everybody, future generations, to know that it's okay to be patient. My generation is constantly evolving. Thank you for attending.
We will now have speaker 2. We will have a preparation of a follow-up question. You have 1 minute.
Thank you, Judge. No further time needed.
Thank you. You may now present your question. You have 1 minute to present. Time starts immediately.
Great speech. Within your speech, you mentioned how utilizing our realities, including our first, which for you was your family, our second, which was school, and your third, reminding the generation to be patient, is detrimental for change. So I want to ask you, which your realities will be most impactful for making change for the new generation? Thank you, Judge. No further time needed.
Thank you. We will now have speaker 1's response to the follow-up. Preparation, or 1 more, yes.
Can you please repeat the question? Which reality will be most impactful for making change for the new generation?
30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. 5 seconds. Time.
We want to have speaker one's response to the follow-up question. You have 1 minute. Time starting.
Great question. You asked which of my realities will be the most impactful when making a change in this generation. And like I said in my speech, I mentioned that power of my inheritance. This is why I think that first reality is the most important. It wouldn't be possible to keep doing my realities and keep executing them without my first reality. This is because how would I have that legacy and how would I get that inspiration to build off of? Getting that story from my mom, getting that story from my grandma, it helps me to do things. Like I wouldn't have done that protest without my legacy. I wouldn't have anything to rely on. And that's why I think that my first reality is the most impactful for this generation. Thank you, Judge No, for this interview.
We will now go to speaker two's presentation. You will have 4 to 5 minutes to present. Time starting.
Hello, judges. My name is Brooklyn Tapia, and today we're prompted with, your great-grandchildren will not remember your resume. They'll remember what your generation chose to build. So what is the one thing you want them to know about your generation? What they chose to do, and what must be happening now for them to be able to know it. In 50 years' time, our grandchildren will have a piece of paper which details each of our accomplishments, probably not saying where or why we even earned them. But they will live through the changes we made in betterment of our community, investing within them. So what do I most want them to remember? Fundamental 14, treat people like family. I want them to understand how we chose to stick together. And hardships cannot be overcome just by yourself. When I first started NHI, I remember being really nervous. Going into a room full of people I'd never seen before, never talked to, was really intimidating. But I remember my head coach consistently telling us that it was okay to be uncomfortable. And by the end of NHI, we'll have made lifelong friends. And not only did I make friends, but I built a family. People who encourage, motivate, and share a common goal with me. Judges, according to the stat from the Bureau of Labor, 25% of Latinos have faced discrimination from other Latinos. This statistic is too high. With the access to the social media, we have allowed other communities to determine how we view one another. We have allowed them to tear us apart. So I take this quote from Third Reality in chapter 5. Advice would come from my own kind, individuals with similar life experiences. For me, I don't need my grandchildren to hold the trophy I was given. I need them to understand it is those who rely on their community, their team, who made the change for their generation. So now I ask the question, what do we need to do to instill that our grandchildren do see these changes happening? We must ensure the future youth understands the importance of collaboration within the community. This starts with utilizing our asset-based mindset. This is understanding that everyone has something to offer. Everyone's ideas can be valued and are valuable to our community's growth. And this also means investing in your community, not through money, but through time and determination. CEB, Community Equity Building. For the community, by the community. Using your skills, what you have learned, to build something for those who have helped you grow. This also includes 2 very, very big fundamentals, including Fundamental 8, which is to appreciate and acknowledge. We need to acknowledge that your community, Latino family, has gifted you the opportunity to make change. And appreciate those around you who are willing to do this. You now have the privilege to work alongside one another, and we should not take this for granted. Next fundamental, Fundamental 3, which is to celebrate and cherish our Latino culture. This can be done in many ways. But for me, one of the main ways means paying respect to cultural impacts. Take the Chicano movement, for example. Musicians, artists, parents, young Latino leaders just like us came together to come forward and support a common goal. This included providing Latinos with better wages and better job opportunities. And that is just what they did by coming together, by understanding that they were a family no matter what, and they all had one common goal to seek in mind. My grandchildren should remember change is not a sprint. It's not a marathon, but it's a relay. We have to pass the baton to one another and finish the race just how we started it, strong. We have to rely on our community, the family we have created. But to make this possible, it starts with us. It starts with you, each and every one of you understanding that you are the change and that you can do things from a young age. You can invest in your community by giving back and using Fundamental 20 of reciprocating support. Understanding that everyone next to you has something great to tell you. They have something which is going to better your community, which is going to better your own grandchildren. Because in the end, we are the future leaders of tomorrow for this community. Thank you, judges. No further time needed.
We will now have a 1-minute preparation for a follow-up question.
Thank you, Judge. No further time needed.
Thank you. We will now move to your question. You will have 1 minute to present. Time starts when you.
Great speech. You mentioned a lot of great books and fundamentals, which include 14, 8, 3, and 20. But what are some other resources that you have gained from NHI that will help invest in making that long-lasting impact that you talked about in your speech? Thank you, Judge. No further time.
Thank you. Speaker 2, you will now have a 1-minute preparation for your answer.
Can you please repeat your question?
What are resources that
Great question. My opponent asked, what else have I gained from NHI which is going to help me create that long-lasting impact? For me, this goes back to my speech. Utilizing those who have already impacted me through NHI. Not the fundamentals they taught me or the quotes they shared with me, but what they instilled in me. The experiences they went through that they taught me to learn from. Using what I have learned and passing it on to the future generations. And for me, this includes using an asset-based mindset, understanding that each and every one of you here today have something valuable to give to our community. And those who have impacted me have shown me that this is necessary for change, coming together. And for me, utilizing what I have learned through others is how I will continue to make long-lasting impact for the community to continue to prosper. Thank you, judges. No further time needed.
Thank you.
We will now begin with our Atheneum finals. The finalists for Casa Maxwell, please come back up to the stage. I will now invite one of the co-directors of Atheneum, Isa Lininger, to lead the proceedings of this round and proceed with it.
Alright, y'all, we're going to start off with our coin flip. This is going to be heads, this is going to be tails. You guys want to be heads or tails? Tails. Would you guys like to be speaker one or speaker two? The group that is going second, you guys can come sit right over here in this first row. Can the observer please give their first and last name? Can the designer give their first and last name? Can the examiner give their first and last name? And the designer. The observer will now have 1 minute to give their opening statement. Time signals are as follows. Time begins when you do. Actually, before you begin, get a mic.
Hello, Judge. Hello, great debaters. My name is Humberto Vasquez, and I'm this team's observer. I will give my observations about this case. For me, man, the architect is known here, but after 10 years, I think he has something to prove to us. And that's if he's reliable to us, and my teammates and I will resurface in this area, basing ourselves in the NHI core values, especially value number 17. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I want to give a big thank you to, first of all, God, my judges, and my NHI family. Thank you.
The designer will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their opening statement.
Hello, my name is Lucille Lara, and I am the designer of my team. If we intend to bring him back into our community and start building architectural structures, then we should have some requirements. We should see if he's reliable enough by sending out a survey to all his past applicants to see if he's worked for it in the past, to see if he has done what was needed for the community in the past. We should also see what works as well. The Latino architect has done in the past 10 years while he was gone. By having these requirements, we will see if he's reliable and impactful enough for the Latino community. Thank you.
The examiner and decider will now have 3 minutes of preparation time. The examiner will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their opening statement. Time will begin when you do.
Hello, judges. I'm Regina Reyes, and I'm the examiner for my team. Although I do agree with my team that we should build a community center to provide students a better education, how are we as a committee so sure that we can rely on this Latino architecture? We don't know him like how we did 10 years ago. We don't know how easily we can hand him this position without knowing if he can design it to his full potential. You see, we need someone that can build and design a strong environment for us Latinos. We need to find a solution to prove his ability to design, not just for us, but for the community. In the end, we need reliable people for a successful outcome. Thank you, Judge.
We will now have the decider give their 1 minute and 30-second closing statement.
My name is Lena Solzman, and I'm the decider for my team. The problem is, we don't know if we should hand over the building to someone who hasn't been here for 10 years, but we're not handing it to anyone. He was a well-known architect that has built many architectural buildings for the community. He has helped and provided for the community. Although he hasn't been here for 10 years, that doesn't mean all his past work doesn't matter. He still built many buildings and benefited the community, and has proven himself. That's why he should be trusted to take this position, because he has experience and has helped the community with buildings before.
I will now read a question for the observer to answer. The observer will have 30 seconds to answer this question. Why is it important for community relationships to flourish while being an active stakeholder in one's community? Why is it important for community relationships to flourish while being an active stakeholder to your community? You have 30 seconds. Time will begin.
My answer to this question, it is important because it can determine the community's future and help us have a bright future and have success in social life.
Thank you. You guys may exit the stage.
Number 2, from the house, maybe to the stage.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Carlos Marroquin, and I am this.
Sorry, 1 second. I love that energy. Can the observer give their first and last name?
Carlos Marroquin.
Can the designer give their first and last name? May the examiner give their first and last name?
Sonashri Savanor.
May the decider give their first and last name?
Bernardo Perez.
The observer will now have 1 minute to give their 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their opening. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The observer will now have 1 minute to give their opening statement. Time will begin when you do.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Carlos Marroquin, and I am this team's observer. Here we have a very important topic to our community. The experience represented by the engineer, the people that know the needs of our community. Both sides care for the community and wants the best for it. So we must find a way of making the best with the assets that are presented to us. If it's meant to be, it's up to us. Thank you.
The designer will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their opening statement. Time begins when you do.
Our proposal is to have the architect be a part of the renovations, with the terms that he will be a guest speaker for the high school, so he can know the needs of the community and be re-assimilated within it. So he knows what the community's needs. And our proposal for what to do with the sector, the wing, is split into 3 different solutions. The first is called mentorship, where the youth will be able to find their voices and express themselves in the way they never thought was possible. The second is called idea workshops, where they find their newfound voices to provide ideas for their community. And the third is called stewardship, where their ideas become reality, their own third reality to benefit the community. It's called
The examiner and decider will now have 3 minutes of preparation time. The examiner will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their opening statement.
NHI's fundamentals. It's important to innovate while staying true to our roots. How will we be able to stay true to our roots? I want to understand how the new architect and the new leader can help shape our community and our culture that we're about to build here in a new way. Because innovation is what creates things greater and bigger than ourselves. Can we hold up to our roots and stay true to our values? Thank you.
The decider will now have 1 minute and 30 seconds to give their closing statement.
Hi, NHI. My name is Bernardo. And to answer the question of my examiner, we need the innovation. I agree with that. And they will achieve innovation without leaving the roots because they will embrace the roots. They will free their mind to create, but But freeing your mind does not mean leaving your roots behind. We are going to embrace our roots because that's the thing that makes us strong. And this initiation is going to succeed because in one hand, we have the voice of experience, 10 years of recognizing his abilities of architecture and engineering. So that's why we need him. And in the other side, we have the youth. The youth understands what are the needs of our community and knows what are the problems that we are facing. So we need both of these sides to get a full picture of what's going here and in Urcolfu. We need to engage with rigor and enthusiasm. And let's remember, if it's meant to be, it's up to us. It's up to me. So that's why we need to implement this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. Part of the round. I will now be asking the observer a question, and the observer will have 30 seconds to answer. How does the fundamental, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, relate to community engagement? You have 30 seconds to answer. Time will begin when you do. How does the fundamental, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, relate to the need for community engagement? Please begin shortly.
The fundamental relates to the need for community engagement because if we don't come as a community as a whole and talk about this and come together, we won't achieve anything later on. That's why if it's meant to be, it's up to me is important. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys may now applause.
Alright. Is there one more category that we're missing? Who wants to hear about mock trial? Who's ready for the mock trial finals? I am ready and very excited too, but we're going to have to take a commercial break. For those watching us at home, we will be going to dinner and we will come back for the mock trial finals at 6:15. If you can hear me